Okay, I guess we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports in association with Round for Round Boxing, new boxing game coming out on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. Check out all the latest news. I guess we're live. Yeah, we are live, aren't we? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports in association with Round for Round Boxing, new boxing game coming out on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4. Check out all the latest. It's great when you're live, because when you're live, what ends up happening is that you hear yourself. Right, without further ado, we have the man from Team Fury. You all know him as Asgar Tair. He's never short of a word when it comes to supporting Tyson Fury. He told you his man would do it. He said he'd come back. He says there's only one Tyson Fury. The ultimate Tyson Fury fanboy. I guess we can say that. And I guess we can say that with a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. We have none other than Asgar Tair, part of Team Fury, an important part of Team Fury, may I add. Asgar, how are we doing?
Excellent, my friend. Still buzzing from a great performance in LA. Great, just buzzing. Happy days.
I hope you don't mind me calling you the ultimate Tyson Fury fanboy.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, I hope you don't mind me calling you the ultimate Tyson Fury fanboy.
No, because right now, who's bragging? Who's got bragging rights? Call me what you want. Listen, I've got Tyson's back. Call me his fan. Call me whatever you want. But he's the king of the castle right now.
Well, you've been saying it for a while. I can't say you haven't been saying it. And without further ado, I have got to bring somebody into the room who's got something to say. His name is Mr. One of the loyalist men in BWTM, loyal supporter. His name is Mr. DJ Slig, a.k.a. Kenny, a.k.a. the boss, a.k.a. the governor when I do Football Manager and the gaming channel, a.k.a. the main man who'll stay up from 10 p.m. at night till 8 o'clock in the morning gaming with me, alongside me, Mr. Kenny. He says this, message to Asgar. You told all the haters months ago what Tyson would do, and he did it. You're a man of your word and proved many wrong. I salute your boxing wisdom and belief in Tyson. And of course, the governor says, make sure you read my comments, Ingram. Thanks. So there you go.
Thank you. Hey, I did. I said it from day dot. I always believed in him. Once a king, always a king. You know what it was? People were jumping up and down, being thankful, thinking that he was never coming back. But listen, when the lion wants to roar, the whole world trembles. And when he needs to come out and eat, he'll come out and eat. And he'll remind everyone who's king of the castle, who's king of the jungle.
Well, okay. Well, that you listen. I'm going to put things in some perspective. First of all, there was skepticism regarding Ben Davison because
that's standard. It was standard. People were going to be critical on Ben Davison. People didn't know him.
I mean, in terms of credentials or what he'd done, I mean, you know, the youth wasn't the issue, his experience. Could he take someone like Tyson Fury into the biggest fight of his career? There was nothing to suggest in his resume up to that point that he was good enough to take Tyson to that next level. We saw what happened.
Hold on right there.
Yes.
Now, let's rewind. When Billy Joe Saunders was going through a bad patch, and it was actually Ben Davison who trained him and did the corner for him and guided him through a very, very tough fight, because Billy Joe was not listening. He wasn't ring fit, but Ben Davison did a fantastic job and guided him through. So he had the experience at world level because he was WBO champion. Now, people forget Ben Davison, his boxing IQ is right up there. Because I always remember Ben Davison through Hoddesdon Boxing Club. He was always a smooth operator. He's not one to just give us an opinion. He'll think. And believe me, he was just on point.
Look, you know me, I'm not going to mince my words, and I don't know Ben on a personal note, and it's not what I'm saying is disrespectful. It's just try to be as non-biased as possible, because you have a situation where you got a lot of people who can be pretty biased in what they're saying. And I was just asking the question, well, look, what qualified Ben at that time to be with Tyson? That was it. The people were asking the same question. Wasn't me. Many people were asking the question. They listened to his corner work when he was with Billy Joe Saunders, and people going, really? Really? When Billy Joe Saunders was fighting Wolverine, I can't remember the guy's name is again. No disrespect to the guy, but he did look like Wolverine, and it was at a Leisure Centre, and it wasn't Billy Joe's greatest performance. And that's what kind of people kind of remembered from Ben. That's what they remembered, and so therefore, when you're talking about Tyson now, another gentleman who does his things his own way, there was a feeling as if Tyson was, and I think that's to blame with Tyson's clowning around as well, because people would have thought, well, Ben was Tyson's yes man. That's what the opinion was.
Listen, and rightfully so. People are going to be critical. People will be skeptical. People are going to want to know, who is this Ben Davison? But December the 1st in LA, the world got to know the result, the performance, everything was right there, black and white. That answered everything. Even the replay that's showing you how Ben was going through the rounds, it spoke for itself. Look how cool and calm he was. Now, going back to Ben, let's just go right back. Now, people say Tyson could have gone to any trainer in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all these top trainers, with all their, a lot of them have egos. Would any of them lot stayed with Tyson for 12 months, living with Tyson Fury in his room, making sure he's with him 24 hours a day for 12 months?
That takes a lot of credit, and it takes a lot of character. So who am I or anybody else to question Ben Davison's dedication to Tyson or commitment? But of course, Fury fans wanted to know just who this guy was. They wanted to know.
And they got to see it. On December the 1st, they got to see it.
They did. So you know what?
And I tell you what makes it even better. From when you got someone like David Hay. David Hay, the guy that we was totally, rivals to. We had from David Hay himself. Even look at Eddie Hearns' comments. Even look at, Dillian White's. You look at everyone that was talking about Ben Davison. They're all speaking highly, even across water, over the seas, all over the world. They all know who Ben Davison is. So You know what it is? Up until December the 1st, I respect and I accept everyone was critical. Believe me, there was no one more critical than me. Remember, I met Ben for the first time in November last year, because I got invited by Tyson. And I thought, well, who is this Ben? Because I wanted to know who this Ben was. I wanted to know, who, and when he told me he was a new trainer, first thing I realized with Ben was he had got Tyson from being depressed and deflated into a happy, self-believing person. And Ben broke it down in stages. The first fight, right, you want to be in the ring, good. Number 2, you want to get up there to the top. And number 3, you're ready for the big show, to show the world who you was. And he did it in a brilliant style. And let's take nothing. Let's not say that was a complete package. He's not finished yet, because remember what Ben said. He wanted to get 2 fights, or ideally 2 fights before the Wilder fight. So Tyson still got space for improvement. But what he did, what a performance!
I don't want to talk about the performance just like there are a lot of things I want to go into before we even get to the performance. So first of all, I wanted to give the man credit where credit is due, but then Ben and what he'd done for the fight, because I couldn't give credit for just the fact that he was with Tyson. He had to do something to show something, and yes, there you go, evidence, fantastic. Let's move on. Well done, Ben. Right, so next step, let's talk about. There's some other things we'll talk about. There's some things you mentioned when you were in America. And before I go any further, people might want to know who the hell I'm talking to. So if you could quickly reintroduce your position with Team Fury.
I'm Ben Davison's assistant coach. I work Tyson Fury's corner. That's it. I've been with Tyson 8th, 9th fight. I was there with him in Germany when he beat Vladimir Klitschko, winning the unified titles. And I've been there since.
Okay, great. So that's just clarity for anybody who wasn't sure. So now the next thing I want to ask you about and talk to you about is there was something you mentioned. When did you actually arrive in America with Tyson and Ben?
Um, 12 days before the fight.
Okay. Now, the addition to Freddie Roach, I was puzzled because I'm watching Freddie Roach on the pads with Tyson. I'm thinking this can't be serious. This must be some sort of I don't know, novelty, because I didn't see how Tyson and Freddie Roach will work together on the pads. Maybe there was some sort of iconic conversations that were being had and pep talks and probably tactics. I was thinking, but again, Freddie's not one I look at somebody from a defensive standpoint, more of attacking standpoint, and that was my view of it. Please enlighten my ignorance.
It had nothing to do. Basically, it was initially planned to go Big Bear, but Big Bear, the temperature had gone from a great weather to really, really cold. But then they felt it was best to move to LA, and Freddie Roach's gym was there. So they thought, let's go and train at Freddie Roach's. And Freddie Roach was very, very welcoming. And because of his hospitality and that, they felt that it would be great to have him in the corner because, they needed a cuts man. Freddie Roach could do cuts. So he was there. And when the videos of the pads, Freddie Roach is a legendary coach. Who wouldn't want to have a little video with you doing the pads with Freddie Roach? Now, whether it was mind games, whether it was to send out, certain signals to divert people's attention, who knows? But what I know was it was just a great place.
Yeah, but I don't see that. How could that? If anything, that was a show of weakness rather than strength to me. I'm thinking you've got to train in Ben Davison. If you've got such faith in your trainer, why do you need to bring in Freddie Roach as well? Didn't get it. Didn't make sense. You left from up in Abel Sanchez's Big Bear Mountain.
It had nothing to do with switching. Abel Sanchez was very, very welcoming and a very, very nice man who was busy with. He had, is it Guido, the new Italian heavyweight, who just had his pro debut, great second round KO, and he had Joe Joyce, who was fighting for an interim title. So with Abel Sanchez, he was very, very busy. So it was never a case of including somebody. But because they'd moved to LA and Freddie Roach had let them use the gym, and with Freddie Roach, he can always add a bit of experience. He's got a lot of pulling power in LA with the commission, etc. And we needed a cutsman. So Freddie Roach was introduced, and it was a great way to say thank you for what you've done.
While you were in camp and you were there, were you around the time when Tyson was sparring with Joe Joyce?
No.
Were you in camp when you were sparring with Okoli?
No.
But I did think Okoli would have been good sparring for Tyson. Did you know anything about it?
Well, yeah, he's tall. He's he fires at funny angles. Someone who could keep doing it for someone with a lot of experience, especially with his amateur experience, high level. So you wanted someone who's comfortable in terms of throwing punches, and that's what Cody was bringing to the table. And I thought it was a great choice. I was watching the video of Malik Scott trying to impersonate Tyson, and I thought, you guys have really got this all wrong. Hence why Ben was very smart in what signals and what messages he was sending out. What Ben did, Ben kept to his chest. A very, very smart man. Make no mistake.
Okay. Well, I don't like asking this question, but I've got to ask it because people are going to want to know. You've worked with Professor Peter Fury. Now you've had the time to work with Ben Davison. You've tasted both beautiful cakes. So I'm not going to ask you and put you in a position who the better coach is, because I think that's unfair. But talk to us about the different styles between the two coaches.
You know what? As strange as it is, they're both unique in their own way. Peter's proven himself a phenomenal coach.
Absolutely.
And you don't take two people to world title contention in heavyweights if you're just an average Joe. Peter's proven himself a phenomenal coach. His style is his style. He never rushes. He knows what he's doing. Everything's calculated. And same with Ben Davidson. He is such a smart man. he will study the boxer that he's faced. He will dissect him. He will come back. He'll relay. He'll think, well, what do you think of this? And he's not one to just stick to his game plan to be stubborn. He will change. He will adapt. He will dissect it to the point where he knows when he wants to break you. He knows what shot the boxer's going to throw before they know they're going to throw it, because he was a great boxer himself. Ben Davison with Hoddesdon ABC, phenomenal. Um, with his experience with Billy Joe, Tom Little, and whoever the people he was working with, it's shown he was very, very smart. So there must have been something about Ben that Tyson liked to have him in his corner.
Okay, so we've covered that. Now, there was a lot of talk documented of Tyson's comeback, and he overcame the health and some of the abuse that he did to his body by himself, which I think people are congratulating him for that, which I still find bizarre. I mean, because I look at someone like Danny Jacobs, who got knocked out by Pirog, and his battle to come back to ring, having a battle with cancer and overcoming that when doctors thought he wasn't gonna live, to come back and to box and to become a world champion yet again. I think it's tremendous, but people don't kind of highlight that, but they highlight what Tyson does, which I think is kind of bizarre.
It's more of a case of people relate to Tyson Fury because he's a people's person. I'm not saying Danny Jacobs is. I'm just saying a lot of people, because Tyson is your average. He's your average person.
Of course he is.
He tells you how.
Don't misunderstand me here. I understand the battle of mental health and stuff, and I'm not discrediting Tyson.
No. With Tyson, he's tongue in cheek. You've seen where he's been at, and one thing you'll notice is a lot maturer Tyson Fury. Do you see where I'm coming from? Because he understands the seriousness of things. He's been there, and maybe that opened his eyes. So he feels maybe there had to be a reason why when he was born, and he was given that chance to live, because he was born a twin, and one passed away and one survived. There had to be a purpose, and maybe this is that purpose. Are you still there, Ingram? I can't hear you. Hello.